First off, do you enjoy preparing for a brand new comedy show, or is it quite a terrifying premise?
I enjoy it, I guess, because I drink a lot and I get a lot of stuff done around the house because I procrastinate and then I go, I'm going to write that show right after I paint the house. I'm going to write that show right after I get a new bathroom in. Or, so a lot of stuff gets sorted out around my house. And I'm renting, so my landlord loves me.
Who's the ideal front row in one of your shows?
That's pretty easy. It's Oprah Winfrey, Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, 6 drag queens, I don't care where they're from, and Prince, or the artist. And they're all slightly drunk, a little bit of sexual tension going in the room, as you would have, with 6 drag queens, and I reckon the Dalai Lama would be into it.
How drunk do you want your audience to be?
Not completely cop drunk, like if you've ever seen an off-duty police officer, not that kind of drunk, like just tipsy, just enough where they sort of get you sexy. That sexy drunk where they've had just enough and everybody's sexy. Everybody's sexy and everybody's fabulous. That kind of drunk.
How do you deal with hecklers in your shows?
I haven't really been heckled and that bumps me out. I think because I have this accent and people sort of go, it could turn ugly, she could start killing us in this room because it's like the doors are closed and they're sitting in the dark. So it is a little bit, sort of flashback, apartheid era. So I think people sort of have that, danger mouse thing with me. I could, and potentially I could. I mean, I don't know. I've never been pushed. So I don't really get heckled. I got one guy that one night just keeps shouting stuff out, random stuff like India, but later turned out there was actually something wrong with him. But you can't choose your sound techie. The festival give them to you, so you just have to work with who you've got,
What's the worst thing that's ever happened at one of your shows for you, from your perspective?
It would have to be Melbourne Midsummer Festival this February. I did a show and I do this thing where I talk about blind dates and what a horrible experience they can be. And I talk about this woman that I dated and she's in her 70s and she only has one eye and a real bad attitude problem. And I shit you not, in my front row there was a woman in her 70s with only one eye. And that was my worst case because everybody saw her coming in. But of course, you don't see the audience till you get out. So I busted out with that. And she was sitting with her head down the whole time. And as soon as I went, 70-year-old woman, her head kind of tilted. As soon as I said one eye, she looked up and I went, and there she is, we're still together. It was awful. And she had a pretty hot date too. So the audience thought she could do better too. It was pretty awful.
How do you think you're perceived when you first come on stage with your accent when that comes out? Because, in New Zealand, we're a bit suspicious of accents at times.
Not all, just the South African one, I think gets a lot of...
Just that one specifically?
Yeah, just that one.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, shit. No, it's... but I think people are fine with it. I don't think they care. I think as long as you're funny, and don't kill them during the show, then they're fine with that.